Hey, what is going on, everyone? In today's video, I've got something pretty cool to show you that will help you share your builds and loadouts with other players. Now, in our Discord community, we do have a loadouts channel, but to be honest, it is a little difficult to share your loadouts just in a text channel in Discord or just by sending screenshots. So what I want to show you today is a great website where you're actually able to build out your entire loadouts and then easily share them with other players. Now, just to be upfront and clear about this, I am not sponsored by this website in any way. They have no affiliation with this video. I just thought it was a really cool site and I wanted to share it with everybody on the channel. And I actually found out about this website through this Reddit post here from Altruistic Might 841. So big shout out to them for sharing this over on the Once Human Reddit. So here is the website right here. It is metabuilds.net. So it's meta-builds.net, and I will have that link in the description down below. And you can see that this has more than just sharing builds on the site. There's actually some nifty little tools here. So at the top, you can see the loot crate reset timer. So that is the global timer for when loot refreshes. It's every 4 hours. And we actually do have a timer in our Discord as well that can alert you when the loot refreshes. So I encourage you to join our Discord community if you would like to. That link is in the description as well. Then we also have the vendor reset timer and the weekly reset timer, which are very useful to have right at the top here. And then on the left side, you can see we're getting into some of the build information here. So these are the top rated builds. And then there are also new or fresh builds that you can click into right here. And then on the right side, you have the codex. So this is where you're able to search anything. You can search for weapons, you can search for armor pieces. And then we also have different timers for the global events that are going on in the game. So we have the beach holiday event that has 15 days left. And then you can see the Stardust Advent Battle Pass and then the Pyro Glide Loot Crate event have 1 day left. So that is great to see. I would like to see them add perhaps some upcoming events here, ones that we know are coming, like the next Loot Crate event. That would be great to have that there as well. And then also we have just a little glimpse of the different patch notes here, the latest patch notes. So that is great, as well as just some news from Once Human just in general. So we have that mobile version technical test coming soon that I made a video on. And then we also do have a Battle Pass and Loot Crate sneak peek here. So these images aren't working currently, but this was some news that they also announced that I covered in a recent video as well. And then just some more news, basically scrolling down on the home page here. And then we get over on the left side here. So you can filter it by just news here. Obviously, we were just on the home page. And then you can go ahead and search builds if you would like to. So you're able to search by the title of the build. People can give different names to different builds. You can search by the build type. So they actually have a few different categories here. We have boss killer builds, casual builds, dungeon farmer, PvP, and then other builds. Then you can also filter by damage type as well. So if you're looking for a specific damage type, you can filter there. And then also server difficulty, which obviously is important. There might be different builds and different tweaks to builds based on the difficulty of server that you're on. And before we get into the build planner here, let me just show you the codex. So this is where we're able to search for anything that was also on the home page, but we also do get the option to filter here by gear, mod, cradle, or deviation. So if I clicked on mod here, for example, you can see a list of a bunch of different mods. And if we click into each one, it will tell you exactly what it does and also where you're able to farm these mods. And then, of course, if you click into any of the gear or weapons here as well, it'll give you a description for what exactly that weapon or gear item does. So if we click into the agent helmet here, you can see the set bonuses for that specific set. Now, the meat of it all is the build planner right here. So you can click into build planner, and this is where you're able to create your own builds and then share them with people. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you can see it says welcome MattyGorm on the left side here. They have an option to sign in using Google. That is currently the only option to log in. So I would really like to see them add some other options to log in. Not everyone is comfortable connecting their Google account to this site. So just as an FYI, that is how you have to log in. And you need to log in order to save your own build. So if you just want to go ahead and browse some other builds and search builds, you can go ahead and do that without logging in. But if you do want to save your own builds, you need to be logged in. So hopefully they add in their own like username password system so that maybe it's unique to metabuilds.com and I don't need to connect my Google account in order to do so. All right, so now let's get started with adding my own build into meta builds here. So first off, let me just show you the build that I'm currently using right now. This is not a perfect build by any means, but basically my Jaws is my main weapon here because I'm able to use it with the Cradle Override and Unstable Bomber against all super anomaly types. So this is the main weapon that I'm using. I also have the Outer Space here as my secondary. We've got the Long Axe melee weapon. I'm also rocking the Lone Wolf set here, as well as the Shaman Vulture top. So this is my build currently. I will share this build as well in the description down below with the meta builds link if you are interested in it. Like I said, it's not a perfect build by any means, but it has been working pretty well for me if you're interested in that. So let's hop back over to meta builds here. I'm going to give it a build name. I'm going to just call this, I don't know, MattyGorm-Jaws, something like that. You can also choose, this is completely optional, but you can choose to either have the name of this build. Basically, I think what this is doing is making it so that if you click hide nick, it's hiding the nickname of the build from the build list, so people won't be able to see it in that list. And if you click no, it will show up in that list. So I'm going to just go ahead and leave it as no so that it shows up in the list. But I'm not 100% sure if that's what that means. I would like them to make this a little bit clearer. Maybe they could just have this say, you know, visible in build list, yes or no, and then that way it would be a little bit more clear. And then you have to choose a build type. So they have a few different ones here. They have boss killer, casual, dungeon farmer, other, and PvP. So I'm going to just choose casual here because I'm, you know, like I said, this isn't the perfect build and it's just kind of one that I've been having some fun with. And then we can choose weapon damage type for the overall build. So I'm going to choose unstable bomber because, like I said, I'm mainly using the Jaws for this specific build. It would kind of be nice if maybe you could choose a multiple here, maybe a primary and secondary damage type, because I also do have power surge as part of this build. So maybe people are looking specifically for a primary of unstable bomber and a secondary of power surge or frost vortex or something else like that. But I'm going to be choosing unstable bomber here because that's what I really have the build around. Then you can choose your server type here, PvE or PvP. And then we can choose server difficulty, so I'm on a hard server. And then you can also choose the different types of anomalies here as well that the build is maybe built towards. So I can actually choose both of these because the Jaws in this case is just doing a great job against regen and void anomalies on the specific server. So I'm not really sure how it knows. You know, I don't see the other two options here for the other types of anomalies. So hopefully they go ahead and add that. I'm not really sure how it would know. I only put that I had a hard server and that it's PvE, but there's still a chance that it could be the other kind of anomalies here. Maybe this is based on the different types of damage types as well. I'm not too sure, but just as an FYI, if the creator of this site is watching, maybe add those other anomalies there as another option. All right, so I've gone ahead and added in my weapons here. So I have got the Jaws here. I don't know why it says main weapon is required. I do have it added right there. I have the Outer Space. I've got the Long Axe. And then I also put these mods here. And then you also are able to choose the calibration blueprint that you have set on these specific weapons. So I know for my Jaws, I have the rapid shot style right here. So I'm going to choose rapid shot style. So that's what I have calibrated on my my main weapon here, the Jaws. And then I don't have anything for these other two, so I'm going to just leave it as is. Now we get into the gear here. I know I have the Lone Wolf set for everything except for the top. So I'm going to do the Shaman Vulture top here. I've got Lone Wolf, Lone Wolf, and Lone Wolf. And then really the last section here that you need to have are what's your deviation, and then what are your cradle overrides and your priority stats here. And then we have the priority stat section here. So I was a little unclear of exactly what I need to put here. It does show that everything is required. However, I am able to save the build by just selecting none for some of these priority stats. And I know my build mainly focuses around crit damage and crit rate. So I've just added those two priority stats right there. It'd be great to have a little tooltip that maybe gives you a little bit more information about this section in order to know what you should be putting there. But the options here are like, if you have your build centered around like HP or maybe explode elemental damage, which I guess my build is kind of around that too. So I can go ahead and just add that in since I'm using unstable bomber. So you can see you can kind of add a little bit more detail into your build there. And then you also have the option to add a further description here. So this is just a normal editor where you can just type in, any other context you have for your build. And then also, if you do have a YouTube link video to your build, you can include that at the bottom here. And then you just go ahead and click Save Build. After you click Save Build, you can see it pops up at the top right here. You can see this has 3 stars for some reason. Maybe that's the default when you first get started. You can go ahead and edit your build. You can go directly into the My Build section on the left side here as well and click into your build if you would like to. And then, of course, you have the copy build address right here. So if I open this in a new tab, this is exactly what it will look like. So you can see the entire loadout here. You can see the set bonuses. You can rate the build if you would like to. There's a bunch of different ratings you can do here, which then will affect how it shows up on that home page that we looked at earlier. You can see a little build summary, weapon bonuses, all the mods that are being used here, and exactly where to find them. So this is a really great, just kind of centralized place. If you're looking for a specific build or a really great build, you can just choose a build right here, and then you can just get all the information that you need in order to recreate that build on your own character. So there you have it. That is Meta Builds. I think it's a pretty cool site. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and feel free to join our Discord community as well. Would love to hear your feedback over there. I think Meta Builds is a pretty neat site. I would like to see them maybe adjust the language on the builds a little bit more so it's a little bit more clear, especially for newer players, and also adding some tooltips and things like that. And it would be great if they maybe had a help section where maybe there was a little bit of documentation of like how to use it, or even just kind of a feedback section so that people can provide direct feedback to the creators of the website. But again, I need to state I am not affiliated with this website in any way. It's just something I stumbled upon on Reddit, and I think it's just a really cool site that we'll definitely be using in our own Discord community. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, drop a like and subscribe down below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, folks.